Don Maestri joins us here after the Trojans fall in overtime to Arkansas State. Again, the final 68-63. Don, so proud of your kids for the battle in this game.
I just told them that we have had some teams with really great talent over the years, but their effort tonight and the way they got us into overtime, that equals any team we've ever had over the 30-something years of not giving up, of making the right plays at the end of the game, which we've done for many times over the years. Got ourselves back in the game when it looked like we were out, and this team did that tonight. They missed a few free throws and a couple of shots that I thought were could have gone in, but not for lack of desire. These guys really played their hearts out, and I'm as proud of them, and more so for their togetherness. This has been one team from the first day they stepped on campus. They started nicknaming each other, meeting at the gym at 10 and 11 o'clock at night. We've never had that in all the years I've been there. A group of kids that had that type of camaraderie and developed a bond, and they still have it. They feel badly now, but they showed what they were made out of, because some of the teams we've played against have had more talent, but that didn't stop them. Matter of fact, they had 2 all-conference players last night, 2 tonight, and we had none, which I'm not so sure how that voting went because of Emil, but had a chance to win one last night and had a good chance to win the game tonight.
Coach, at the end of the regulation, you mentioned what they were able to do. It was just such a great effort. And what impressed me was the poise. You didn't have any timeout, so you weren't able to school them. But I thought Fresh had the poise to not go for the 3, to go for the 2. And then as a team, they had the poise to set the press and get the 5-second call.
Yeah, it's something that we have worked on for years, and our teams have really gotten pretty good at that in the end of the game. And this team here did a great job tonight. They knew we didn't have a timeout. It was crazy to just take a wild 3-point shot trying to catch up. They understood the score situation, and really proud of them. And I also told them tonight, and I'll tell the people back home, this is my last game. I'm retiring, and I couldn't be as proud of a group of kids. I told them I'll be around. They're in my family. They were history makers. I've been big in history since I got there, from Showtime all the way through to tonight. And this team made history. First of all, the first SEC team that's ever come to Troy, Alabama, they beat. The first game in a new arena, they won. You can get 20 years down the road, no one else can say that but their team, and especially the seniors. And then the night they named the floor after me, there was pressure on them because they knew that was happening. They won that game, And then in the 500 last night, they had been under a lot of pressure because they really wanted to win the 500. Well, they were the team that won the 500th game. So those things are something that they'll always remember. They're a history-making team, even though they got beat this year in games that we haven't. Just really unfortunate. The Utah game at our place, the guy misses the whole goal. If he hits the rim, the shot clock goes out, we win the game. They lost some games that really we've never lost, but to no fault of their own. Fluke things happen to this group of kids, and I've told them 100 times. I know they got tired of hearing about how good of people they are, and that's really what counts when you look at it in the long run, and that's what I'm proud of too. We've had kids from impoverished backgrounds for 30-something years. And I was reading today at a paper that a lot of the kids in jail right now, 90% of them, this is a heck of a statistic, I hope it's true because I'm repeating it, had homes that had no father. So we've had a lot of those kids. And I'm telling you, we've had 80% of them get college degrees over 31 years, and we got some more tonight that have no parents. Ray will get a college degree, and he was raised in a single-parent home. So the real achievement of our program has been that, not the wins. The wins, you could get. I told somebody last night, if I won 10 games a year and coached 50 years, I'd get 500. But you can't get college degrees unless you put something in somebody's life. And we invested a lot into their lives, but they've made me better. I've been so blessed it's not even right to get all the blessings I've had because of the game of basketball. So the good Lord has been great to me, and just wanted people to really understand what the success of our basketball program is all about.
Well, our minds are reeling here at the announcement of your retirement, Don, and I guess journalistically we've got to ask a couple of questions about you personally. Number one, what's in store? What's next for you?
Well, I really thought about it a little bit. I'm really seriously considering trying to do charitable work, Habitat for Humanity, stuff with the church.
You've done that before in the past, many times.
Well, I haven't had enough time to really devote my life to not more purposeful, because this has been a purposeful thing because of all the kids we've been fortunate enough to be around, and all the assistant coaches and all the people I've met back in Troy. I mean, we got many tremendous friendships, and faculty and administrators. I mean, we've had a great time. But I think the next step is to do something that's more of a spiritual nature in terms of charity, and hopefully I can do it. And I have more time to do it now. I'm still going to have Sharon cut the grass, but
some things never change.
That's right. You better.
Coach, it's been our pleasure. I've had the pleasure of 20 years sitting here and calling these games, and when I hear what your aspirations are, I know you'll continue to change lives for a long time to come.
I hope so. And but I've been, I'm the one that's gained. I mean, I really have. You can't. There'd be a few million people on this planet that would have changed places with me. So I feel really fortunate to have had the fun, just like being in this tournament tonight. Just walking out here, how many people get to do that? I mean, that's a fun experience. The crowds were great, and especially tonight they were cheering against us, and the atmosphere was great. And our pep band outplayed the whole day. I go to Arkansas State, support team, fans, band, and cheerleaders. So, to be in that environment, that atmosphere, you're blessed.
Well, upon the announcement of your retirement, again, several thoughts swarm into. Number one, we're asking what's next for you. Number two, Don, I guess the obvious question would be, what's next for this program?
I don't know. That's, John Hartwell and Dr. Hawkins, and I'm sure they'll have to get together and, make decisions on what's coming up next. I don't have an answer for that. I just know my end of it is, I hate to use that word retire because it makes you think you're old, and I don't have enough gray hair to be old yet. So,
but Jerry and I both agree. In the time that you spent in the program is certainly not recognizable from when you took it to when you left it, Don. You've made it immeasurably a better place than when you first found it.
And it has a great chance. We got a great arena, as good as anywhere in the country. I mean, our place is beautiful. I've heard that from every coach in the league, every official that's come to our place, and they'll be, believe me, there'll be people that'll come in that are building a new arena, and they'll come to ours just to see how the thing was done. I mean, if they're smart, they will. And Middle Tennessee, Kermit Davis was telling me that the other day. He said, well, if I was a school building a 7,000 or 7,500 seat arena, I'd come here first just to see how it's laid out, the detailed work, the concourse, of the skybox. I mean, the whole thing is just beautiful. So, it has a chance to really help the program in the future.
Don, it's been our pleasure.
God bless, Coach.
It's been my pleasure.
So Hall of Famer Jerry Miller, and I'm not talking about just on the court, Hall of Fame human being as well. And journalistically, this is hard for us because I promise you, the listeners that we had no idea. Don Maestri announces his retirement after 31 years and 500 wins as the head basketball coach at Troy University.
There's been speculation out there, and I certainly had to spend some time with him the last couple of weeks. Had no clue that was coming, but you could see and you can hear the aspirations of he's all about changing lives. He's put up some great numbers, historic numbers. I mean, we'll hear that over the next few days for sure because people are scrambling everywhere right now upon that announcement. But the real difference, he said it best, the real difference he has made is in the lives of those young men. I was able to spend some time with those three teams the other night, the three championship teams that he brought back, and to hear those guys talk and for me to talk to them and to see how they interact, that's what it's all about. And for every one of those guys on those championship teams, there's 31 teams all together there that he has impacted that have come through Troy University, and he's impacted the life of every one of those guys that have been on there. And that's going to be, to me, his legacy. We'll remember him for the 500 wins, for the championships, for all the great moments, all the great time he's given us. But the real difference, the legacy of Don Maestri, will be how he has impacted the life of young men.
Don Maestri's career in 31 years as the head coach of the Troy Trojans, 500 wins. It closes in Hot Springs, Arkansas, with an overtime loss in the Sun Belt Conference quarterfinals against Arkansas State by a final of 68-63. Jerry and I will return as Trojans basketball continues after this from Miller Coors.